Welcome to the class 7 students. I'm going to start a new chapter with you all. The first chapter of your first unit test syllabus is the chapter number 5 in your book. The name of the chapter is Photosynthesis. Okay. Now let's start the chapter. All organisms need energy to live and grow. This energy is obtained from the food we eat, right? Animals get their food from plants and other animals. Plants, on the other hand, make their own food. They do so by a process called photosynthesis. So we got to know that green plants can make their own food by the process of photosynthesis, and all other animals, including us living beings, means human beings, we depend on the plants that may be directly or indirectly. Okay. Now let's start with what is photosynthesis. Green plants make their own food by the process of photosynthesis. We already know this. This mode of nutrition is known as autotrophic nutrition. So living organisms that can prepare their own food by themselves are known as those organisms are known as autotrophs, and that mode of nutrition is known as autotrophic nutrition. Okay, thus green plants are called producers or autotrophs. I have already said why they are known as autotrophs, and now why these green plants are known as producers, because they are the only living organisms that can trap solar energy and can convert it into chemical energy. Okay. The process by which green plants use energy from the sun to convert carbon dioxide and water into sugar, which is glucose, in the presence of green colored pigment known as chlorophyll, is known as photosynthesis. So the green plants require certain raw materials to perform this process of photosynthesis. What are the raw materials? They take in carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, which is given out by all the living organisms. When we breathe out, we give out carbon dioxide, right? And it takes in water from the soil, within which the plants are rooted, right? And they entrap the solar energy, and they already have the green colored pigment chlorophyll, which is very, very necessary for the process of photosynthesis. And this chlorophyll is present only within the green colored leaves. Okay. Now let me go through the definition again. The process by which green plants use energy from the sun, that means the solar energy or the sunlight, to convert carbon dioxide and water into sugars. Now what is this sugar? The end product of the process of photosynthesis, the main end product for which the process of photosynthesis is being performed, is glucose, which is basically a sugar or a carbohydrate. Okay, and this takes place in the presence of green colored pigment known as chlorophyll. This is known as photosynthesis. They obtain carbon dioxide from the atmosphere through stomata, and water is absorbed by the roots from the soil. So this part I have already discussed. Now let's find out the word equation with which we can represent the process of photosynthesis. So we can write in this way: CO2 plus water in presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. I am writing in short. Okay, sunlight and chlorophyll, what happens? We get glucose and oxygen. Glucose and oxygen. Clear? Next, this word equation is very, very important. Okay. Now this equation of photosynthesis is very, very important. Okay, you have to learn this by heart, and whenever you are asked about the process of photosynthesis, you should give this equation. Okay, now moving on, the glucose which is produced at the end of the process of photosynthesis is transported from the leaves to the other parts of the plant. So the green leaves are the ones who produce glucose after the process of photosynthesis, right? And after that what happens? The glucose thus produced in the leaves are transported from the leaves to other parts of the plant body. so that means this glucose acts as the food for the plant, right? And the plant will get energy from this food. So all the different parts of the plant body require energy to perform the different metabolic activities that take place within a plant body. So it is not only the green leaves that require the food, also the other different parts of the plant body require the food, and they get the food in the form of glucose, which is produced in the green leaves. Okay, it is also converted into starch. Now the total amount of glucose that is produced in the green leaves is transported to different parts of the plant body and used as and when needed. But if there is any extra or excessive amount of glucose that is is not required at the moment, that amount of glucose is converted into starch. Why? Starch will be stored in various storage organs within the plant body, and the plant can convert that starch back into glucose whenever it needs some amount of glucose, because in certain times, like during the night time when photosynthesis does not take place, the plant will still need energy for the process of respiration. Cellular respiration also takes place within the plant bodies, right? So plants will need energy, but plants are not performing photosynthesis during the night time because there is no sunlight. So during that time the stored starch can be converted back into glucose and the plant can use it. Okay. Now the oxygen, what happens to the oxygen that is produced at the end of the process of photosynthesis? The oxygen released during photosynthesis is used by all organisms to breathe. Okay, so this is what is all about the raw materials and the end products of the process of photosynthesis. Am I clear till this much? Now you go to the did you know part. The term photosynthesis is derived from two words, photon meaning light and synthesis meaning building up. So these two words, photon which means light, and synthesis means, we already know, synthesis meaning to produce something or to build up something. By mixing up these two terms, we get the term photosynthesis. Okay, so this one is important. Next, coming to stomata. So you all know about stomata, right? These are minute pores present on the lower surface of leaves. And what is the main function of stomata? They perform gaseous exchange. Now we will have to learn about the structure of stomata, gut cells which are present around the stomata, and how what is the function of stomata in this process of photosynthesis and all. So these things we are going to learn in the next video. Okay, thank you.